Yeah, so we are live. Yeah, let's just wait for like 5 minutes for okay, 3 minutes for people to join in, and then yeah, we can start. Jam, everyone who's joining in. I can see guys joining in. Welcome to today's session. Today we're going to go through building a simple game on Celo, and yeah, we're just waiting for like 2 minutes or 3 minutes for people to join in, and then we can kickstart the call. Yeah, I can see people joining in. We're just waiting for a few minutes so we can give guys the opportunity to join in, and then we're kickstarting in a few. Thank you, guys. Okay, I think we can start because of the interest of time. GM, guys, welcome to the last episode in the HackersDao Hackathon series, whereby for the past 2 weeks we've been talking about a variety of topics. So we've gone through building a mini app on MiniPay. We've gone through prediction markets, and this today we are going to talk about how to build a simple game on Celo. So it will be a bit of gaming on Celo. So without further ado, I think I'll let the team to introduce itself first, and then we can continue. Starting with myself, my name is Cindy Kamau. I'm a part of the DevRel team at Celo Africa DAO, and yeah, it's been nice having you guys pop up, join in the calls. And today we are going to end on a very high note because we're going to see a very simple game. We've also connected it to MiniPay, so it can be loaded to MiniPay as a mini app as well. And yeah, we're going to we're going to go through the smart contract logic. I'm going to show you how to kickstart a boiler template on Celo, and also yeah, we're going to it's going to be a nice session. Without further ado, I think I'll let Adam and Jordan to quickly introduce themselves, and then Adam will give us some few updates with regarding to the HackersDao announcements. We're still going to do a small reminder at the end of the workshop, and then yeah, we can continue. So Adam, Jordan, you can quickly introduce yourselves, and then we can start.
I think I can go first. Yeah, so today we look like the Pokemon, whatever. Yeah, so my name is Jordan Mudemba. I work with Celo Africa DAO, and today we're gonna be, as Cindy has said, we're gonna be heading on a high note. Tutamaliza with a game. If you know Swahili, tutamaliza na mchezo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Adam, you can go next. Yeah.
Okay, hi guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Jod.
Yes.
Sorry, we can hear you, Adam.
Okay, that was nice. Hi guys, welcome to the last episode of the Office R, and yeah, regarding the HackersDao Hackathon. Yeah, so guys, if you could remember, we launched on 14th of November, and today is 27th. Office R. Register if you have not registered. Don't forget to register if you have not registered, and the follow up to as well. If you're on the call the last call and the one previous before. So if you could remember, we had a series of I talk about the hackathon, how you can register, how you can join, and the likes. But if you don't know, I'm still going to make a quick present to the screen again now, so that if you've not registered, probably you find difficult to do that, you can easily do that. Please, I'm actually doing that in AGV. Okay, let me know if if you can see my screen. So yeah, don't forget the starting date for the hackathon is 14th of November, and the deadline is on 30th of November, which is coming days. And you still have 30 days to go. If you've not registered, just search hackersdao.com, and you see these page, click on the one that say 5,500 price pro, then you got this. So what you need to do is just to apply following this procedure. What you need to build is build ranging these three category: play to end game, prediction market, educational game, and the like. So then after that, you read more here and follow the procedures. Like I said, if you following us since we start, we have three category of the prize. We have top six project, the best projects that actually come over taking 500 each. Then our second is the 30 valid projects, and the first come first serve. And yeah, so last week I've actually talked about it. Just come to this page. I don't want to take much of the time. So if you have not registered for the account, for the account and register, you see the numbers that we have that have actually registered. This is not showing the number of submission, but it's just the number of registration so far. So guys, if you have not registered for the hackathon, register for it, because the time is actually moving forward now. Yeah. So in addition, my name is Adam Said. I'm co-contributor at Celo African DAO. Also, team. I'm leading the marketing at the HackersDao Hackathon. Yeah. So I'll pass it back to Cindy. Yeah, and thank you for listening. Yeah.
Okay, great. I think with that, we can kickstart. So today we're going to go through. Let me just share my screen. Share screen. Yeah. Yeah. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, we can see. Flip.
Sell coin flip. So it's just a simple game I've created whereby you place a bet. There's a range of bets you place from, let's say, 0.05 Celo to 1 Celo. And then you place a bet on whether if the coin flips, it's going to be heads or tails. And then you see the result. And if you've actually guessed correctly, you get a payout to your wallet. And if you haven't guessed correctly, we take the money. So this is just a very simple web app, and also to show you that I've also connected it to MiniPay, so it can exist as a normal web app and also as a mini app on MiniPay as well. So I'll explain why on the web app you can see it is just a very simple interface. There's nothing to show, but on MiniPay you can see more details on the UI. So we're just going to go through it step by step. But first, to start, before we go to the code base, let's just connect our wallet. So as I connect my wallet, MetaMask, connect. So I've connected my wallet. So the connect wallet feature comes from using a mixture of Rainbow Kit for the UI and WAGMI and also VM. So we are going to go through that step by step. But first, I want you guys to see how the game works. So already I have some testnet Celo. This is from Celo Sepolia. And again, I'll show you guys how to get the testnet Celo tokens from the new Sepolia faucet. For guys who are building on Celo, if you haven't migrated to from Alphajores to Sepolia, Alphajores was deprecated. So right now we're using Celo Sepolia. So I'm also going to show you how to integrate the Celo Sepolia, especially in WAGMI, because it's not part of the inbuilt chains yet. So I'll show you guys how to do it. But without further ado, let's just first go through the code base. It's still in localhost. So once I deploy, I push everything to our Celo Africa DAO organization, you'll be able to access the code base. So I'll share it after the session in our WhatsApp groups, and we can also share it on Twitter as well. So without further ado, let me just click on something. I don't know how many Celo do I have. So 0.1. Let me just click on 0.1 and then decide, let me say I want to bet on tails. So as you can see, okay. So let me just sign this. Let it load. As you see, I placed a bet of 0.1 Celo, and then I clicked on tails, but then the coin flipped to heads. So I've made a loss there. So we can try again. So 0.05. Again, let me see heads. Let me sign that transaction. Let it load. As you can see already, it's loading that I've played 2 games already. Those are the first one I had already played. So the third game will show in the stats in a few. So I've made some few losses. So this is just the game itself, how it works. So you place a bet from 0.01 Celo to let's say 0.25, and you decide whether you want to pick on heads and tails, and then you flip the coin, and then the coin can land on either heads or tails. So if you place a bet on heads and then it lands on heads, you get a payout. As you can see, our house has set defined tokens, but because I've lost twice, we can see that money is continuing to accumulate in the contract. So this is just the game. This is how it looks like in MiniPay. The only thing the only challenge is I'm using the native Celo token, which is still not yet integrated properly in MiniPay. So if I were to play this game on MiniPay, I would have to swap to Celo USD, because that's what is supported right now. MiniPay supports stable coins. So before we go to the code, I'll just quickly show how I was able to load my my app to the MiniPay interface, and then we'll go through the code base so I can show you how it works. So let me just close it. Remember the first time we talked about mini apps, I had talked about how you can load the developer settings. So you just come to the about, and then you click on the version several times until you get this pop-up for the developer settings. So you come here to the developer settings, and then one thing you'll notice is you can't use a local host URL on the MiniPay interface. So you'll have to come to the code and create a ngrok tunnel. As you see, I had already created one. That's what's running. So I used this link here because it's secure because of HTTPS. So instead of using the HTTP localhost URL, use the HTTPS. So we can see we have the tunnel. So this is the ngrok tunnel that you can use to test your mini app. As you can see, it's already here. So load. So this is just mirroring. I'm mirroring my phone on the laptop. So let me wait for it to load. It's black. I think the tunnel has expired. Okay. Yeah, I think the tunnel has expired, so it's all right. Yeah, so without further ado, I think we can go to the code base. I will be showing you the stages. We'll kickstart first to how you create like a boiler template, which is very easy. Instead of doing most of these configurations manually, we already have a command, like a command that you use so that you can be able to set it up, especially if you're building specifically for MiniPay. So I'll just come to my, let me just look for that command. Yes. So this is the command npx at Celo Composer. You can find it at the docs, but I can also share it here as well. So yes. So to kickstart your development process, we can start by yeah, no, not that one. Yes. So let me just make another directory. Let me call it what? Test. Oh. Yeah, I hope you can see. So okay. So I'll just use this. As you can see, this is just a boiler template specifically for MiniPay. Yeah. So okay. And as you continue installing the template, there's something you need to have installed in your system called PNPM. I think it's called performative npm. It's like a best, like a big a best alternative for npm. So if you don't have pnpm installed in your system, this is something you need to install it, because you're going to use it as I will show you guys when you're like deploying your contract. We have scripts already in the boilerplate, so you don't have to do a lot of configurations if you're using, let's say, Hat. So you just write a command, and then you're able to deploy your smart contract to either Sepolia or mainnet. So you can also install this package pnpm. It's going to be needed, and of course Node.js and all those other things. So let me see. Yeah, so it's already been initialized. Yeah, so just okay. Yeah, so this is just a boilerplate template, how it comes. As you can see, we have the contract side. So they have a sample contract lock.sol. Here, let me just say that. Yeah, and then we have the ignition, the modules. This is in case you have like a constructor and any other configs you have for your smart contract. This is where you come in and change it. Like, I'll show you guys how I did it. And then yes, as you can see, already they've set up the configuration for Hat. So we have all the networks and all the URLs, etc. So you can see we have the mainnet URL. We have Alpha although this one was deprecated. And then we have the Celo Sepolia testnet. So this is the one we're using. Yeah. And then, yeah, your localhost URL, we have Etherscan. I'll show where Etherscan will come in, because you need an API key. And then, yeah, these are just the configs for the custom chains, Celo, Alphajores, Sepolia. And if you want like and also the gas reporter as well. So that's the config for Hat, which already has come in handy. You can check also the packages which have already been installed by using the command. As you can see, we have all the configs for Hat. We have Ethers, and yeah. So yeah, this is just a very nice way. Instead of having to set up your file structure from scratch, you just come with a boiler template, and then the only thing left is just to, if you have a smart contract, you can change this, and you can also change the ignition module as well, and also the scripts. So as you can see here, like I said, we have scripts already, right? So if you want to deploy, they're already here, but the only thing you have to do is change it to the smart contract name as well. So I'll be moving my screens around. So first I'll show you guys step by step how I made my smart contract, and then we can come here and then we can do those configurations live, so that you can be able to see how you can be able to ensure that you've done the necessary changes to the config, and also on the front on the client side as well, so that you can be able to just quickly bootstrap your mini app. As you can see, something I wanted to show. Where is it? Yes, wallet provider. As you can see, something which is super nice with this template kit is that already they have automated auto connect for you for MiniPay, so you don't have to directly write this logic, because already it's here. They've already given you the logic for how you use WorkMe, and also for the UI Rainbow kit as well. So we'll still go through this logic so that I can quickly explain what everything means. But as you can see, the reason why on my web app, where's my web app? On my web app, we had to connect a wallet directly, but when it comes to MiniPay, but when it comes to MiniPay, we didn't have to connect any wallet. It's because using that MiniPay SDK, it automatically connects for you, so you don't have to connect a wallet automatically. It just triggers it, so you can continue using the mini app directly in the interface. So this is the work for auto connect. We're going to go through it. So to kickstart this, let me look for to kickstart this, I wanted to talk about the smart contract I wrote. So just a sec. So we'll just take through the logic step by step, what everything means, and then afterwards I can share this so you can go test it out as well, and maybe add more logic if you want, and redeploy the contract. So of course, at first we have the license and the version. We're using Solidity compiler 0.8.28. So this is the contract. For guys this is the first time to see a smart contract in Solidity, to be able to define that you're actually writing the logic for your smart contract, you have to start with the contract. So my contract is called Celo coin flip, right? So the first thing you notice from here, I have things which I can call them state variables. These are just variables which you're going to be using in the contract. Example, address public owner. This is just who deployed the contract. Let me just write these notes. Who deployed the contract? So you went to 56 min bet. This is like the minimum amount you can bet in the platform. As you can see here, it starts from 0.01. So for the contract, this is the maximum amount you can bet. So for the smart contract, I've set the parameters in that you can only bet in a minimum 0.01 Celo and then maximum 1 Celo. But in the UI, I just put 0.01, 0.05, 0.1, 0.25. But in reality, the maximum you can actually bet is 1 Celo. So as you can see something here, we call it ether. For guys who don't know this, so ether is just, I think it's 10 to the power of 18. Is it 18 way? So this is just a way that we define the currencies. So 1 ether equals to 10 to the power of 18 way. And since so in Celo, if you even write if you just write ether, even for Celo, it will just equate to 1 Celo, which is still 10 to the power of 18 way, right? This is like the smallest unit. So So just 0.01 ether and then 1 ether. So just that the minimum amount you can bet and then the maximum amount you can bet. And then here we have some mapping. So this is just for tracking. With mapping, it's similar to, let's say, how we use dictionaries and also hash maps, right? Hash maps as well. So what I'm just doing is we're trying to track, example, how many times an address has won, lost. So this is we're just mapping the addresses so that we can be able to get the data. How many times has this address played? How many times has it won? How many times has it lost? And that is helping us here, right? So as you can see, we use now all of this logic so that we can be able to track and see, okay, this address has played 3 games, it has won only 1 game, and it has lost 2 games, right? That's why we have the mapping. And yeah, the next step is, after you've made your mapping, we talk about events. So events, they're just logs in the blockchain. So every time a game is this event is triggered, every time a game is played, we have some logs. Let me show you how they look like. So this is the contract that I've already deployed a bit earlier. So yeah. So when we come to the logs, you can see, I'll explain, we've triggered the game played event 3 times. So as you can see, we have 3 logs, right? I'll explain what this log index means as we continue to the logic of, yeah, you can see this is my address. So I'll explain what this log index means as we continue to talk about the smart contract logic. So yeah, this is just emits events so that you can be able to obtain the logs. Every time something happens and you've created an event for it, it is triggered and then it is able to be logged on blockchain. So here's what we talked about when I was talking about the log index. So for indexing, this is just to be able to this is just to be able to search a player, right? So it's like you're indexing a player so that you can come and you can see, okay, this address, this is just all of this data that you can see here: amount, player guess, result, how many times they won, and the payout. It's just chunked into this one big data block over here, but you can be able to convert it into, if you can be able to like convert all of this data, you can be able to see all of these details. Example, the address, as you can see. So this is the amount, like the amount the player has betted, the player, how many times, okay, what has the player guessed, the result, was it heads, was it tails, and based on the coin flip, did the player win, did the player you lose, and how much the player the payout was for the player. So once we have this event here, at least we can be able to see all of these details, as you can see here, right? That's why we have this log index. So if we had another address, it would be like index 2. But since this is just one address, it's just the same index. So if we had multiple players, we could be able to see like the indices, right? So that's now on events. So yeah, the next, okay, just a sec. Yeah, the next thing I would like to talk about is constructors. So with constructors, they're just methods that run only once. Yeah, they run only once when the contract is deployed, right? So the reason why I have this constructor here is, remember, we have this logic, and essentially this smart contract is the one that is able to facilitate everything. So we can call it the house, right? As you can see in my app, the house has Celo to begin with. So when I deployed the smart contract, I had 0.5 Celo to begin with, because how can you do payouts when people place bets and you don't have money to essentially pay them out, right? That's why it's payable. Where's that? Yeah, that's why our constructor is payable. So meaning when you, what I mean by saying our constructor is payable is that you can send, let's say, some Celo tokens to contract when deploying it. Ooh. When deploying it. So the whole purpose of this constructor is so that once we deploy a smart contract and you want a smart contract to have some Celo tokens to begin with, so that you have to make the constructor payable. That's why we have the payable method here. So message.sender, it's just whoever deployed the contract. Okay. So yeah, so far we've talked about the state variable. So we have the owner, as you can see. So whoever deploys the contract, we have placed the mini bets, the maximum bets. So if someone tries to, let's say, place a bet of, let's say, 2 ether, the transaction will revert and the amount is sent back to them because it's against the rules. And also if you try to send 0.001 ether, it is also reverted as well, and you're refunded your funds because you have to place a minimum of 0.01 in 1 ether. And then we've tracked to be able to know how many times an address has won, how many times an address has lost. So it's just behind the scenes, it's just like, say, like a hash map, right? So we've placed some events so that every time a game is played, we have some logs, and we've seen in the Block Explorer the logs being showcased like live, right? So every time the event is triggered, we have all of these details. And then we have the constructor. Like I said, when you're deploying the contract, if you have some rules that you want to set them only when the contract is being deployed. Example, on our end, we needed our contract to have 0.5 Celo tokens beforehand. So that's why we have the constructor here. And then to show you, since remember the deployment process, it's not like you're setting the constructor live in the deployment command or something. So yes. Yeah. In the modules, you can see, because I have a constructor, I've already set the rules. So deploy with 0.5 Celo as initial house balance. So now, once you have a constructor, you still need to call it out, so that otherwise when you try to deploy your contract and you've set a constructor in your smart contract and you've not triggered it, it's not going to work. So that's why we have this here. So that I've said that I want 0.5 Celo as the initial balance when the smart contract is deployed. So back to this. Yeah, so this is now the main flip function as well. So as you can see here, let me first, yeah. So stage 1, we have to validate the bet placed. Oh, sorry. We have to validate the bet placed, right? So, like I said, if someone places a bet that is too small, or it's less than 0.01, the transaction will revert and you'll be given your funds back. And if you place a transaction that is bigger than 1 ether, that is just 1 Celo, the transaction will also revert and you're given your funds back. So this is just to first validate that before you even make sure, before someone continues with the process of flipping the coin after they've placed their bet, you're just doing a safety check to see, are they within the parameters that we've defined? Is the bet between 0.01 and 1 ether, right? That's why we have the require function. It's just to set a condition, the condition that if this condition is false, you revert. If the condition is true, you continue. That's why we have the require method here, right? So this is once we do that, this is just logic to calculate the payout. So yeah, so it's just some bit of math. For example, the way I set it is, if you say let bet 0.05 Celo and you win the bet, you get like what parameters did I set? 1.94x. So so this just means this is some bit of math, so that if you let's say bet 0.05 Celo, you get 97% of the payout. Yeah, the house always wins, so it would not be too fair on the house if, let's say, you got 2x, which would be 100%. Yeah, so for this logic, the house takes back 3% of your playout. So if you bet 0.05, you could have gotten 0.1, right? That would have been 2%, 2x payout, so 100%. But for us, if you bet if you bet 0.05, you get 0.097, yeah, something like that, 0.09 something or something like that. So you're not going to get like your 0.1, you're going to get 0.097. So we keep the 3%, right? Remember, in betting, the house always wins. So yeah, that's just it's just a bit of math. So there's something I want to show you. Yes, here it is. So we have another require method here. So we've set a condition here whereby the whole purpose of this require this condition here is that it's just a safety check, so that if, let's say, remember our contract has 0.5 Celo, right? So let's say we've done a lot of payouts and then we are running out of money in the contract and we have not funded the contract yet with more Celo. So this is just a safety check, so that if, let's say, the balance is less than the payout that I'm supposed to make, it will revert the transaction, declaring bankruptcy in quotes or something. Yeah, so this is just a safety check, so that if the balance of the Celo tokens that we have left in the house is less than the payout, we cannot be able to cover that transaction, so we revert the transaction. So here's something I want to talk about. So this is how we generate this is how we decide whether the coin will flip heads or tails. I'll explain why this is not a safety, it's not a very safe way for production. I'll explain why, but just for a simple demo, it works. But don't do this when you're trying to write a smart contract for production. So I'll go through it step by step. So you can see we have various parameters here. We have block.timestamp, block.prev, rand AO, and then message.sender, and then we have uint256 and catch up and also encode backed. So I'll just go through it step by step. So first, block.timestamp, it's just the current block time, and then block.prev random, this is just some random number, if I can explain it that way. It's just some random number that was generated. That was generated in a previous block. Yeah, think about it like a lottery. Let's say, how can I explain it? Let's say you just picked a random number that was already generated in the previous block. Let's say we're in block 1 million, something like that. So if in the previous block there was a random number that was generated, let's say, I don't know, is that a random number? No, something like that, that this is what is picked, right? To be able to decide how, I'll explain how all of these things come up together to be able to decide how the coin will flip. So it's just a random number that was generated in the previous block. And then of course we have the owner, right? So what happens is, first we take these units, right? So we take the block time, we take the random number that was generated, and then we take the player's address, and then we first of all concatenate let me just write it here step by step. So step 1, we have the timestamp, we have the random number, and then we have the player's address. So step 2, using the ABI dot encode fact. This is just to combine all of this data, concatenate. I hope I've written it well. Yeah, it's just to combine all of this data and convert it into bytes. And convert into bytes. Yeah. So we take all of this data, and then the first step is you merge it together, and then you convert it into bytes, right? And then the step 3, with step 3, you convert it into like a 256-bit hash. That's why we have the Ketchak 256. So you take all of this big ass byte that we, all of these combined bytes, right? And then you convert it into like a SHA-256, like a 256-bit hash, right? 256-bit hash. So step 4, we now have the 256-bit hash, and then we convert it into uint 256. So at the end of this all, we've taken all of these details, and then we first of all combined it, and then we got some numbers, a chunk of bytes, and then we converted it into a 256-bit hash, and then we converted it into like a number, right? So where will this number come in? This number will come here in the next this number will help us in that. Let me show you. Yes, this number will come here. This is where we're going to use it. So to be able to figure out, do we want heads or tails for the coin, we take a number. Let's say we got a number like this. After we did all of these steps, we divide it by 2, the modulo 2. If it does not have a remainder, let's say it becomes 0, then it becomes heads. Then if it has a remainder, divide by 2, and then not 0, it becomes tails. So that's how when I come in and let's say I pick a thing, and then I pick on heads, and then it decides, yay, heads. So this is just what's happening behind the scenes. So it comes, it takes the current block time, and then some previous random number that was generated in a previous block, and then my address. And then first of all, it combines everything, and then it makes it into a series of bytes, and then it creates a 256-bit hash, and then it converts it into a number, and then it divides it by 2. So if this number that was generated has no remainder, it decides, we're going to pick heads. That's why we have heads here, right? If the number that was generated after all of these steps had a remainder, that's how it can pick, and the coin flip becomes tails. So that's the logic. That's how the logic is designed in terms of flipping the coin into either heads or tails. That's why we have that here. But then this is actually not, it's not optimal for production. It's not quite secure, because what can happen behind the scenes is, remember, all of these things, it's transactions you're submitting to the mempool, right? So validators can come and see this transaction on the mempool. And then, they can get all of these details. They can get the current, they can get the timestamp, they can get the random number that was generated, and also your address, and they can calculate for themselves and see, okay, so the player is going to lose. That means you're going to make money. So they're going to introduce introduce this transaction into the block. But then if the player wins, they can decide to ignore. This transaction. That's why this is not a very optimal way for doing it in production. So you can use something called VRF. VRF, yes, VRF. I think it was chain link VRF. I think it's called verified random something. I've forgotten. So instead of having to do this, you just use a chain link VRF so that it generates the random. It can request the random. You can request a random number from like chain link, and then they can generate it off chain, and then provide the proof that is legit, etc. So you don't have to use these details, which can actually be derived by the validators, and then they can be able to calculate beforehand and see, is a player going to win or lose, etc. And then they can decide, are we going to include your transaction into the block or not. So that's why I've said this is just for a simple demo, but for production it's not a very optimal way of doing. So if the person, after all that, if the person has won, these are now payouts. And if the person has lost, we get the money. So something else I wanted to talk about is this empty function called fund house. So like I said, if we're still continuing to if multiple people are playing this game and then we are doing payouts and then our money runs out, we need to have a way to transfer this funds into the contract. So we have two ways about it. So we have this function fund house. So it's just for funding the house in case the funds are low. Yes, just that's why we've made it payable, so that you can be able to do it. And external, it's an external function, so meaning it can be called outside the contract. So this is one way to do it. So in your front end, you can do something like how can we do it? So something like await dot contract dot, what's it called, dot fund house, right? Fund house, and then you can do, what's a value, what is it, pass ether? Pass ether.
Cindy.
Yes.
There is a question here. I think I don't know what Chide meant with chain link.
Like what I was talking about with chain link, I was talking about chain link VRF. This is just when you're generating random numbers. That's what I just meant. Let me just. That's what I meant.
Chain link VRF, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a small feature. Instead of doing it the way we've done it here, whereby you take all of these details and then you can generate this number and then you divide it by 2, so that if the remainder, if it's an even number, essentially it becomes heads or tails. And these details, someone can be able to use these details, calculate ahead before they, mostly the validators. So instead of doing this logic the way I've done it, so that we can be able to decide randomly whether the coin is going to flip heads or tails. Or on the UI, you can just see that, what is the UI? It's just going to flip randomly, right? So it can be heads today, it can be tails tomorrow. It's just a random thing. But then this is now the logic that helps it to determine randomly whether the coin is going to flip to heads or it's going to flip to tails. But then what I was saying is, this function, it's not like advisable to use it, especially if you're going to do it in production, because like I explained it, some validators can come see this transaction in the mempool, they can go through it, and then they see, okay, money. So we have the timestamp, we have the, the random number I was talking about, just some random number that was generated in a previous block, and then we have the address of the player. So they can actually calculate this, right? And then they see, okay, so this person placed a bet of, let's say, 2 Celo, and then they lost because the coin, we've done our calculation, they placed heads, the coin is going to flip to tails, so they lost. So because you're going to money, from that, because the house is going to get the money, we're going to include this transaction in the block. But then if they realize, you placed heads and then the coin is going to flip heads, that means you're going to pay, you're the one who's going to pay to win. They can decide, you know what, let's make, out of just maliciousness, this person is going to make money, let's ensure they don't make money, so they're going to not include that transaction in the block. So that's what I was talking about. That's why this is just the chain link VRF feature. It's just for generating random numbers in a secure way or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Since you've mentioned security and generating numbers in a safe way, I think it's also like a really nice time to also talk about where the house manipulates the outcome. Now, the one you are talking about was validators. Now,
yes.
What if the house also decides to like manipulate the outcome? Yeah. How can someone maybe counter all?
I think this is where you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is where normally auditing would come in, because someone can write logic. Remember, you're just coming to play the game. You don't even know how they've designed the smart contract logic. They can decide to make it in a way that you're never going to win. So you can design the logic in that if someone places a bet and they click on heads, you can curate the coin to flip to tails. Or if someone places a bet and they click on tails, you can manipulate the logic so that the coin will always flip the opposite of it, so that you never make money. Remember, for example, one thing I've done on my end, since I love money, is that I've ensured that if you're going to win, I still need to make money, right? So I'm not going to give you 100% of the payout. I'm just going to give you 97%, and then the 3% is still left to me, So mostly it depends with how the house is going to, like, if it's like an on-chain betting platform or something. I think that's where auditing would come in very well, because they might have designed it in like a honeypot way. You know what I mean? So you're just placing money, but you're never going to win. And since it's a game, normally, I could say it's the same with how most of these betting platforms like Aviator work, So
I was gonna mention the Aviator thing and
so you're just placing bets and you're just seeing the aeroplane fly, and you're thinking that you can see in the dashboard. Normally with the Aviator platform, I tend to believe the platform, the dashboard where you can see people who bet money and how much they won. That is actually something. It can even be just dummy data, so that you don't feel as if you're just alone playing the game. So you see someone placed 10,000 and they won, I don't know, 15K or 20,000, and then you decide to place your rent or your school fees there, and then someone was telling me they place they manipulate the logic in that if you send small money, let's say 50 bob, 20 bob, Kenya shillings, at least you can have a chance to win. But the more you place bigger amounts of money, the higher your chances of losing it to be the higher your chances of losing the money. But then, since they want you to be addicted, they'll make it randomly. Once in a while you can make some money and then you feel good about yourself, but at the end of the day you're actually losing a lot of money from it. So that is to answer your question. So
no, I just wanted to make a comment because I can see guys here smiling and laughing and and so just a disclaimer, no, okay, there is a one last question, but just a disclaimer. If you're building something, make sure it's something that it's built with purpose, not just a purpose that goes into, like what Cindy is saying, where you bet your money and your people are manipulating it and everything.
Yeah.
So there is this other question, the last one, and then Cindy can continue. Is will every game involve, say, betting? I think I can help answer this one, but yeah, go ahead first. Yeah.
Will every no okay, I'm trying to understand the question. Does it mean that all games designed can just do betting, or
Yeah, that's what I'm also getting. If all games that are built and they involve betting,
no,
I don't think.
not
Yeah.
really.
Mhm.
Not really. Like Eternal.
There was a on the HackerDao description. Maybe Adam, you can share the link. The required game were like word puzzles, wordly, such games.
Yeah, the thing is, on-chain gaming is actually something which is still pretty, it's coming up. The biggest challenge, I could say, having tried out to build a very interactive game myself, is most of the game development, especially in web 2, normally we have the game designers who are going to come and, let's say, use things like Unreal Engine or Unity, and they design the props and all of these people, the avatars, everything, and then we have the guys who actually code it out. So the biggest challenge with building games on chain games, first of all, is the UX. At least now, because of how UX is coming up very quickly. Most of the time, in the beginning when it was starting, let's say if you want to, let's say, I don't know, which example can I use? If, let's say, you want to, what game can I talk about? Let's say you want to shoot someone or you want to buy a gun, and then you have to now sign the transaction, because most of the core logic is in the form of smart contracts, and state has to be constantly updated, and it would lag very much. And with gaming, lagging is the biggest killer. So it was quite, this site is not loading. I wanted to show like a game called Eternum. It's quite immersive. I think it's one of the, at least the games I know, which are quite immersive in Web3. So yeah, that would be the biggest challenge. So right now, I know we have like SDKs coming up which are connecting with Unity, and I haven't seen if Unreal Engine, they have, if they are SDKs. I think with that one you have to design that logic yourself. But yeah, I know in the future will be that on-chain games will be much more prevalent. The only thing that we had to first of all finesse is the UX. And especially if you're building very complex kind of games, you have to, at least since we have the engines there and they are designed for building games, you just have to connect the core logic to now the smart contracts, only that. But the props, everything else can just be off chain. I think that's the best way. But otherwise, yeah, do you have something to add?
Yeah, I think that is correct. Like having the most of the props, the character, the non whatever characters in the game being off chain, learning off chain the way they are supposed to off chain, because then remember there is a lot of storage space for this character. So if you're doing on chain, then it means a lot of that data goes to the smart contract of the blockchain, which now have what you have said, the lagging. And what I think that web has something, that web have done something with Unreal Engine. You can check it out. They have like something, an SDK that they have been able to like connect the wallet together with Unreal Engine, which is really amazing. Yeah. The other thing is like most libraries which are for game development, they like the first one I saw like was built in C or C++. Then it becomes really difficult for developers. Remember, most developers are doing Java or either Rust.
Yeah.
And most of the development of gaming, it's C++ or C. So which makes it really hard for new developer or newcomer developers to be able to like immerse themselves into the game development. So you can basically be able to like build more games, and that's why now we have more betting games instead of now the conventional games that we know like FIFA. So if you can have something and maybe build something that can be integrated into the FIFA gaming that is supporting blockchain, it could be really cool. It will be really cool. Yeah. And I think the next session, probably next year, or Cindy, we can dive deep.
Dive deep.
You can dive deep into this gaming concept in blockchain and see
we can dive deeper. We can actually dive deeper into it. Like we show people. I don't know if let me see. I don't know if I can be able to. I don't know if it will work right now. I don't think it's going to load right now. It's okay. We can.
It's okay. But we can explore more and then show people. Because one of the biggest challenge was here in Kenya we have like a really big gaming community, and even one of the largest distributor of games in Africa, and we were building something on trying to integrate Celo onto the chain, onto their platform, and it was really hard. But right now, since we have such SDKs, we can be able to now push on and be able to like at least connect, whereby we have a game like Temple Run. Instead of just collecting coin, you are actually collecting actual coins, like
actual coins,
USDT, and then now we have the H402, which can be able to, so it's amazing. I think
I could say the biggest challenge is just because there's a disconnect. We have people who've spent their lives just building stuff like this. So this is essentially how you design the environment for the game, etc. So you can use different personas. Do you want it to be like the point of views? Do you want it to be like the third? I've forgotten the terminologies, but do you want it to be the third persona? Do you want a person when they are like running? Do you want them to be like the first persona? How do you want your environment to look like? So there's a lot that goes deeper into game development before you even now start talking about the blockchain side of it. So you have guys who have actually, you have guys who have actually, this is their work. They design personas and your avatars and all. Okay, your avatars, they design everything, things like those. So it takes a lot of time, first of all, to sit down and understand how to use these interfaces themselves to use to build a game before you even start now transferring the logic to the blockchain side. So I think the best way we can help is first of all, getting people who are really good in game development but don't understand how it can connect to blockchain, so they can do sessions on how to do things like this, because this is where I actually stopped. And then on our end now, we show how to use the SDKs which are being created with guys like Third Web, so that you can be able to connect the two together. Otherwise, that's the biggest challenge we have. We have guys who are native in blockchain who don't really know how to do games development. Then we have guys who are really good in games development, but they're not aware of the blockchain side of things, or they've tried the SDKs, they're very clunky, the developer experience is so bad, they decide to just go to the normal web 2 ways. But anyways, I think gaming is something that is super interesting. If you want, you can actually go check it out. You can do like indie games whereby you just freelancing, you build games, and then if they actually become a hit, you can even sell the game off, etc. But then with things like I've forgotten this. What GTA? Is it GTA? Grand Theft Auto, right?
Yeah,
You'll find they take a long time
Grand
to
Theft Auto,
to do a release. Yeah, you find they take a long time, and they have like a studio, which, because they have to, for it to be as like the GTA 6, right? For it to be as
Yeah.
advanced and as complex that it is, it takes a lot of time actually. So you might think that designing games is just rock and roll or something, but yeah, it's quite hectic. But in the meantime, I think
It's not easy.
yeah, I remember I
You need,
saw. Yeah, I
yeah.
think when we actually, I think we can create like a content calendar, because we can actually do a deep dive. I saw an LLM model. I've forgotten the name of that LLM model, but it's designed specifically for just building games. So you vibe code games. So when I remember it, I think we can, by the time we now do like a proper vibe coding session whereby we go through a lot of the AI, a lot of the models that are in the market, and then how you design your workflows, how you connect, example, the MCP servers, how to prompt properly so that you don't use your tokens, how to debug, etc. I think it can be nice. I can look for that. I can look for that model and share it. It was specific for just games. I've forgotten the name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my laptop is about to.
I
Yeah,
wanted
but
to add something, and then
uh-huh.
you finish up. So Chidera Chide. Oh, I don't know whether it's Chide or he's building at. They are building a temple run, which is amazing.
Nice.
I think one last thing is for game development with Unreal Engine or Epic, whatever. You also need like uh, 3D specialists or graphic designers who are really good with creating all those characters, and then those characters now connect. You connect them together with the code.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so yeah. I think we can try and do something in that, and then
Yeah.
yeah, who knows?
Yeah, well, maybe we're going to
Awesome.
be game
I guess
devs, Jordan, and then we make money, no?
yeah, itaanza na mchezo hivyo.
Yeah. So guys are very invested. Maybe they can check out like I don't know, Avalanche. It's like a protocol specifically for gaming, just for testing out and see. And on our end, we can come up with a lot of content on how you can build immersive games on Celo. But yeah, who knows? The future is, and imagine whereby we also introduce agents inside there. It could be like an interesting topic to talk about. Yeah, but anyway, so that's just the contract. So to show you guys how the process I use to deploy, before I talk about the deployment, because we need to do some configurations. Yeah. So before I show the deployment process, I wanted to show something. So where's my wallet provider? So I'll take you guys to just the client side just a bit. Yeah. So the wallet provider, like I said, this is a template that is let me just put these things side by side. Yeah, so this is something that comes in automatically, whereby we have automated connection for MiniPay, etc., and or wallet connectors and all those things. So what I wanted to show is for Celo Sepolia specifically, because to be able to connect the wallets, that just like how when you click on the connect wallet button and you can see all the injected wallets there, like Brave, MetaMask, etc. This is the work of WAGMI, right? So there's something you see I have done here. I had to explicitly define Celo Sepolia because it's still not inbuilt for in the WAGMI toolkit, because it's a new it's a new it's a new testnet chain, right? Just came recently. So this is just what I wanted to show. So in now the wallet provider, you'll just have, especially if you're using Celo Sepolia. Otherwise, WAGMI just loads Alpha Jores, which is deprecated. So this is what I wanted to show. But otherwise, yeah, this is just logic for injected providers, which I remember we talked about some time back. So like I said, wallet, it's just logic so that you can be able to see which wallets are injected in the browser. Example, MetaMask, Brave browser, Brave wallet, etc. And here, since it's already written, you don't have to using the template that we have for MiniPay, you don't have to write this logic yourself because it's already written for you. So this is just logic for auto connect, so that, like I showed you guys, the reason why in the normal external web app, we have to manually connect our wallet. But when we come to, I forgot the tunnel, but when we come to our MiniPay, mini app, there's no like, in the nav bar, there's no connect wallet button because already it is automatically connected. So it's because of this logic. Let me see. I've confused. Yeah, it's because of this logic. So that's I wanted to show you the difference between what we have there. This is the default. So the only thing left is just to write the logic to expose Celo Sepolia. Yeah. Yeah. So you just import this from VM. So they work in stacks. So we have Rainbow Kit, which is the UI for connect wallet button. That is just the Rainbow Kit UI. And then we have WAGMI, which is just React hooks so that you can be able to work with for blockchain. And then below WAGMI, we now have VM, right? So yeah. Anyway, that's what I wanted to show you about the wallet provider, which is on the client side web. So this is it. Also, for your environment, I don't want to wait. Back to our, yes. So there's several things you need. So otherwise you won't be able to properly deploy your smart contract. To deploy, you just write this. It's just a script here, pnpm deploy Sepolia. The first step is that when you come to your package.json, where's our package.json? Here, remember the default template came with lock. It came with our lock smart contract, right? And the config for lock smart contract. But then now here, so that you can be able to deploy, example, to deploy on Sepolia, I had to change it to coin flip. Otherwise, it's not going to load because it's going to look for the lock smart contract. It's not going to find it. So since we have the scripts here, you just have to come and change here from the default, which is lock, to the smart, to the name of your smart contract, right? So that's something I wanted to show. And then environment. So we have an env.example. So of course you have to set your private key. If you're using MetaMask, of course, once you capture your private key, don't forget to add the 0x prefix. It does not come with the 0x prefix. Otherwise, you're going to get this error I got here. Yes, where is that error? Oh, that's for insufficient funds. No, that's after. No, that was when I didn't load .env. Yes, this error here. Invalid argument 0. JSON cannot unmarshal hex string without 0x prefix. So I was getting this error because I had forgotten in my .env file. Is it? What's happening? Yeah, I had forgotten to put the 0x prefix in my private key. So we need API keys. So as you can see here, you need a Celo scan API key so that the contract can be able to verify etc. So the way you find this API key is, previously we would go to celoscan.io and then you sign in, and then you can be able to get like in the API dashboard you can get the API key, but that is deprecated. So where you get the API key is on Etherscan. As you can see, this is the API key I'm using for my project. So you just come in and you sign out. Let me just sign out. So you come to Etherscan and then you log in, and then you did I put this? Yeah, and then you come to the API dashboard, and then you create your API key so that every contract that you write is able to be verified. So that's the whole point of the API key. So you just click on add, and then you write maybe. Remember, you have only limits because this is the free plan. Etherscan did us dirty when they decided they're only going to give 3 limits to people to test. So you can only have like 3 keys. So just if you're not using a key, you just delete it or something, but you just add and then create new API key, just like that. So let me remove it. Oh fuck, not that one. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, that's it for the API key. So we have all the URLs already, so it's just adding your private key and the API key, and then you're good to go. One more thing, you can also so that it can, once you deploy the script, it can be able to load your private key so that it can be able to deploy the contract, and because that key is what you use to pay for gas fees etc. So you need to put to load .env. In case you don't have it, just write otherwise you're going to get an error I was getting here, whereby it was not able to all of these errors that I was getting, it was also not able to load my private key, essentially. So it was refusing. So I think those are some of the steps that you'd use so that by the time you're clicking on PNPM deploy Sepolia, it's able to deploy very well. So you don't have to do so much configurations of Hadat, etc. So you can see it was successfully deployed. One more thing, in case you've made some changes in your contract and you want to redeploy it again, don't forget to delete the deployments folder, which has the ABI etc of the previous contract you deployed. So you just remove it. You just remove the deployments folder, and then you redeploy your contract again. And then once you do that, no, it was not here. Yes. So in your front end, you'll just create like a contracts file where you put your ABI so that you can be able to use it in the front end. So this is the ABI that I have for my smart contract, and this is the address that I received here. You can see it's this one here, right? 0x834DAB. So this is the address. You just put it here, and then the ABI. The ABI, you get it from the deployments folder, like I said. Deployments artifact. Yeah. So this is the ABI, as you can see it. All of this is the ABI. After you've deployed your contract, this is just bytecode. Yes. So bytecode is just, this is the format that the virtual machine can be able to understand. It can't be able to understand, normal like a JSON format type of thing for your smart contract. So it has to be compiled into bytecode. So this is just machine code for the virtual machine to be able to, like EVM, to be able to at least understand and comprehend what kind of smart contract you've deployed. Yeah, so I think those are the major things I could show. Let me show. Did I forget something? Yeah, this is just my front end logic for the coin flip logic, so they can be able to connect it with the logic for the smart contract. And the only thing I added also was like the UI for the coin. How is the coin going to look like? But yeah, as I said, this is like the best way to at least kickstart your process of building, especially if it is a MiniPay app. So you don't have to configure most of these things manually. You just get them there, and it also provides deployment skills. Deployment scripts, but it is using hard hat, of course. So yeah, I think that's it. Let me see if I've forgotten to talk about something I wanted to say. Yeah, so things like the navbar, I just left them as they are because they are good as they are. So this navbar came with a template. So the navbar that you're seeing here for home docs, to be able to capture what network you're in. So if you want Celo or Celo Sepolia, or the amount that I have in the wallet address. So this just came in, so I didn't have to do a lot of stuff there. But yeah, in summary, I'll just share this code. I just wanted to talk about a lot about the logic behind how the game works, especially the smart contract. But then yeah, I think we can be able to share this. I'll share this repo once I push it to the Celo Africa DAO GitHub repo. Yeah, we'll share it on our WhatsApp communities, and we can also share it under the live stream on Twitter as well, so you can be able to find it. But yeah, I think that's it for the session. Have I forgotten anything, Jordan?
You have forgotten to mention that you did 2 losses and you are the house.
Oh yeah. But bro, okay, let me just try one more time.
You're gonna lose.
Okay.
You're the house.
Oh, bro, I've won.
The
I only have 1 win and 3 losses. How can this be happening?
house never
Let
loses.
it load. The house never loses. Let me wait for something is happening. I haven't signed that transaction. Okay, there it comes.
Well, on HackersDao it's the same, but you have to update your manifesto file. That is the .json file.
Yes, manifest.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with the manifest file, you have to put the app metadata, like the app identifier. It's called my Celo app, etc, so that it's able to load both in Facas and also meaning MiniPay.
Yeah. Then there was a last question was what if the window.minipay does not dictate a MiniPay wallet? Cindy.
Could you repeat that? Oh, what if it does not detect?
Yeah.
So if you're going to build a mini app on MiniPay, of course, first you'll have to. So if you're going to let's say connect it to MiniPay, with MiniPay, once you create an account, you get it automatically. Yeah. So is that way it can be? I don't think anything big will happen if it is not detected on MiniPay, because it can work on externally as a normal web app. But then for people, if you want it to be available on MiniPay, it can still be available there. That's why we have both provider setup, so it can still work normally as an external web app. And for guys who have wallets in MiniPay and would still like to access the same service as a mini app, they can still be connected to it, so it can be able to just automatically connect. There's a MiniPay wallet there. Yeah, have I answered that correctly? Yeah, so for the auto connection, it's just for MiniPay in itself. That's why the good thing about this is, even for guys who don't have, let's say, MiniPay wallets, they still can be able to just access the web app normally, but they'll have to do it manually, whereby they connect their wallets manually. And if it's not there, going to get a prompt to create a MetaMask wallet or a Brave wallet, etc. And then now the auto connection, it's just to trigger if it is connected automatically on MiniPay. Yeah. Let me see. Have I forgotten something? But yeah, let me see. 1, 2, 3.
I think we are now.
4. Yeah, 5 games.
I think we are good.
Bro.
One last tip.
Bro. And I've not wrote the logic. Now imagine, this is just a simple game. Imagine now betting. And this thing is very addictive, because now I know I'll just continue losing my Celo tokens.
No, you can build, so long as it's a mini app, you can have it on HackersDao. You can still have it on HackersDao. So some of the applications which are on HackersDao built on Celo and also on MiniPay. The good thing is that if you are doing PWA, progressive web app, it means it's mobile friendly. Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, let me just share to show how normally interfaces go. Yeah, so it's still the same. Like, I'm currently in Fakasta, so you can still see the mini apps over here. So once it works in MiniPay, it will still work in Fakasta as well. There's no big difference around it. So this is just some of the mini apps. So let me see what games they have. Ooh, Clackamon. It's not loading. Let me just wait for it to load. But in the meantime, yeah. So yeah, I can't wait to see what guys can come up with. I think betting aside, we can just see other, like, I'm very excited to see the tempo run on the on-chain tempo run, how it's going to look like. Yeah. Or maybe you can even create a platform where guys live stream, not like like could I call it Twitch? Really, not like Twitch. There's a platform I actually saw whereby guys are creating a platform whereby people can live stream when they're playing mobile games. It's actually they received quite an amount of funding, so it's called Unscape. Unscape. Yeah. So you can find a way to figure out what creative ideas you can come up with around the gaming economy. Like, for these guys, they've decided all of these people who are actually playing all of these mobile games, and of which we play a lot of mobile games. Like, if I share my phone, you can see so many games there, right? So people just play games, but then with this platform, you can live stream when you're playing, and then you can earn the earns tokens now. So it's exclusively streaming for just mobile gaming. Yeah, so there's a lot of things you can actually do with the gaming economy. Yeah, Do you have any more comments, Jordan, Adam?
Yeah, for me, no more comments. Yeah, just want to say shout out to you for taking us through that, and shout out to everyone for listening and joining. And guys, don't forget the closing date is near, and that's 30th of November. And never too late, you can see submit your projects. You're done. Yeah, and yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I think that there are two more last questions. So, Cindy mentioned about P and PM. So P and PM is just another node modules package manager. It's like npm or yarn, the way we normally have yarn or yeah. But the good thing about P and PM is that if you're doing a monorepo, it will really work very well. If you're doing installation of those package managers, packages on SDKs, they really work very well. They install them really fast. Yeah. Then if my demo, it has to showcase the app is working. Yeah. So your demo has to show that it's working on MiniPay. Yeah. So it has to show that it's working on MiniPay. Yeah. And I think Cindy has dropped, but yeah. So if there is no any other question, Adam, do you have anything to add? I think then we can end on at that point. So hopefully to see you all guys submitting your projects and winning and transforming those ideas that you do have into real world applications, like into real world products that users can be able to use on a daily to do transaction. Yeah. So to impactful realities. So I'm gonna end on that point. Make sure to subscribe, comment on the chat, and also there is Cindy on a holiday festive. So yeah, so make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for being to be updated, and also comment on Twitter and also on the our various social media. Yeah, and also make sure to submit your project. Make sure to submit your project. Yeah, I'm saying a lot of I'm sounding like a politician or something, but anyway, thanks for joining, Cindy.
Yeah, thank you so much. My internet kicked me out. Yeah, but thank you guys for joining. We can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Chidera, I can't wait to see what you come up with. And yeah, you didn't show why you. Yeah, PNPM, it's just a better alternative to NPM. So based on how the template is designed, it's like how you can find a template that uses yarn instead of NPM. So the template for the MiniPay toolkit was, was designed using PNPM. So to install the packages, etc., to be able to deploy the contract, because that's the package that they have used. So you use PNPM. It's called Performat. I think it was called Performative NPM or something like that. It's just like NPM on steroids, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. it's NPM on
steroids.
On jollof rice.
Yeah, so it's just the same. It's just the same thing, but otherwise, yeah. I think I lost some network there, but I think we are done with today's live stream, right? Don't forget the deadline for submissions for the hackathon is on Sunday, so 30th November. So you can finish it on a high. We can't wait to see what projects you guys come up with, and we'll be giving specialized feedback. We have an agent for that already ready, so we'll be giving you feedback based on your project in terms of the technical side of things, the product side of things. Does your product have does the products have okay, does your submission have like a product market fit? Is it a viable product to use, etc? But yeah, we can't wait to see the submissions. Yeah, do you have anything else, guys? Adam, Jordan?
No. I see people have started matching pajamas or something.
For me, no. I just want to say shout out once again. And guys, hand on quickly. The closing date is still 30th of November. And yeah, so looking forward to see more submissions. Yeah.
Yeah, for the code base. Okay. Yeah, so I wanted to say for the code base, remember I just haven't deployed it on our GitHub organization, so I'll just not deploy, pushed it. So I'll just push it to the org, and then I'll share it in our group for the hackathon. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining in, guys. We hope I hope you've learned something today, and also yeah, we'll just do an internal thing and see what we can come up with maybe next year. I'm thinking maybe next year, so we can come up with like some content calendar for gaming, so we can do a deep dive on gaming. And also something I'm also very interested to show is the vibe coding side of things. So we talk about vibe coding a lot, but actually how do you do it live? So we can see all the workflows you're doing. We can go into the model context protocol, the MCP servers, which we hear about a lot, and we can go through them a lot, I mean, in details. We can also talk about context windows, the way how you have a chat with a model, and the longer the chat, the more garbage the model produces, etc. So you also, as you chat with the model, you have to be cognizant of the tokens that you're using. So the more tokens you're using, the more bad is bad a good word, the more bad the model becomes. So how you can be able to like do prompting in a very cognizant way. So we're going to do deep dives on those. We're going to show how to design your own AI workflows to make your work easier. I'm interested to show a project I came up with called Nora. So they're doing casa for Web3 specifically, so I can also share that because I've tested it out. And yeah, we'll show you guys how to use the Celo MCP server and all these other things. But otherwise, yeah, we are going to like come up with a very nice content calendar maybe for next year. Or what do you think, Jordan? Next year, right?
Yes.
For guys in Kenya, don't forget we have a code jump coming up. Mm-hmm.
That's what Santa has for us.
Yeah, speaking of Santa, guys, man, we've been having a lot of workshops. If you feel from the goodness of your heart that you want to airdrop me some Christmas money, so I can send home, I can share my wallet address, or I have MiniPay, I have every wallet that you can airdrop me some money. If you want, from the goodness of your heart, you can airdrop me some funds for Christmas. But otherwise, yeah. Actually, we're done. We're just vibing here. We're talking, but we'll just be ending the stream in a few. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Just in case we don't meet again, I wish you a Merry Christmas. Don't forget to go home.
Happy New Year.
and a Happy New Year. Don't forget the airdrop. You can airdrop me funds for Christmas. Yes. I can share my wallet address But otherwise, guys, I wish you Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Close your down. Please close your laptop on 25th. Spend more time with your family. Don't be coding on 25th. Just spend time with your family. The code is not going anywhere. The bags are not going anywhere. And yeah, meet you guys on January. We'll be coming up with a very big lineup of stuff. We'll be going deeper into AI agents, X42. Last time we did just a very quick update on X42, but we can also go deeper into it. And yeah, so see you guys. Yes. Please, what is the network? Someone has decided to airdrop me. Please tell me the network. I have Binance. If you want my Binance ID, I have every wallet. Network, if you want. Other no. Anyways, thank you, Chide.
It's on a private network.
If you want Monero, if you Sam, BTC, everything. I have everything. You can just tell me
Or
which network.
Zcash.
Yes, Zcash, all those things. Okay. Bye, guys. Yeah. We're ending the live stream now. Bye. See you guys next time for we're looking forward to submissions. And yeah, I hope to see you guys next year. I wish you Merry Christmas. May you all be healthy. May we meet you next year. And yeah, you know what? I don't have anything else to say. I don't watch Naira. Everything else but Naira.
We should end the stream now. We should end the stream now.
USD. I deal with stable coins. Based on pegged on the dollar though. No, not our local.
The 2000 naira will be one Kenya shilling.
1 Kenya shilling. You know what? Let's end the stream. Bye, guys. Again, for the for the ya ukweli in Kiswahili, as we say.
For the two roses.
Yeah, this is now the final goodbye. Bye, guys. See you guys. Yeah. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe our YouTube channel, etc. All those shenanigans. And yeah. Bye. See you guys.
Let's end the stream.
Yeah, let's end the stream, man.